February 2022, Juche 111. Disgrace from the inside out. This is a voice of astonishment resounding from all walks of life in South Korea in relation to the recent presidential election. The election edition is turning into scandals, quarrels, and insults day by day. Some are criticized by other parties as corrupt candidates and candidates to go to prison for suspicion of development preference, while others are accused of corruption in themselves and their families, their relationships with fortune tellers, and continuous remarks that criminal community candidates are superstitious and under attack. Not long ago, even the last words of Hitler and fascist came out. The discourse among opposition candidates broke down, and the public's disillusionment of the people who had already turned their back on the election edition became more and more due to the disclosure of the records of the major suspects involved in the Daejeong preferential development case. Given this situation, it is said that the unfavorableness of the influential candidates for the presidential election announced on the 22nd by a polling agency in South Korea is well above the 40% threshold. If it were so, wouldn't even foreign media compete to expose the ugliness of South Korean politics? Let's take a look at some of the foreign press reports. Yoon Suk-yeol is being criticized for being linked to fortune tellers, and he continues to make various mistakes, especially as a political student, failing to properly disclose major policy promises. Ri Jae-myung is in trouble because of the suspicion that Ah-hae used a public official for personal business and his son illegally gambled. Yoon Suk-yeol also threatened to send critical reporters to prison if Ah-hae entered the Blue House, and his mother-in-law was even tried on charges of corruption. There are even opinion polls that say that South Korean voters are getting tired as the fight over Ri Jae-myung and Yoon Suk-yeol continues. South Koreans are not unfamiliar with political scandals. This election is going to be the worst in history to the extent that it is called the unfavorable election. Candidates for the presidential election who are only disgraced from inside and outside because of their muddy fights, their ugly bare faces show the reality of the political landscape of South Korea as it is.